Hello, this is Alex Thomas, and I am presenting my personal definition of instructional technology slides for Dr. Clinton's Edit 6100 class. In my own words, instruction means an activity or experience with the intention of imparting knowledge or changing behavior. Technology means a man-made device or process that serves one or more purposes. When you combine these terms, you get instructional technology, which means the use and management of appropriate technologies to aid instruction and education in an ethical manner. The next few slides I will show some terms and concepts that I found interesting in this class. The first is constructivism. This theory was mainly developed by Jean Piaget. Piaget believed that knowledge is generated by a combination of a person's experiences and their beliefs. These pieces or categories of knowledge are called schemata. Many educational programs have been based on constructivism. There is an emphasis on self-guided learning. For this reason, it is not always the ideal approach for novice or beginner learners. The next is the theory of situated cognition. This theory was created by Brown, Collins, and Duguid. With situated cognition, the focus of learning became less mechanicalistic and more social, much like the way a person would encounter a problem in real life. Several benefits of using this theory in teaching are: students learn more about the conditions for applying knowledge. Students are more likely to engage in invention and problem solving when they learn in novel and diverse situations and settings. Students can see the implications of their knowledge. Students are supported in structuring knowledge in ways appropriate to later use by gaining and working with that knowledge in context. Connectivism states, learning and knowledge can be found in diverse places and methods. Learning is a process of connecting specialized nodes or information sources, such as a specialist in a certain field. Learning may reside in non-human applications. An example of this is learning from a video on the internet. The capacity to know more is more critical than what is currently known. Nurturing and maintaining connections is needed to facilitate continual learning. Some examples of this are study groups or even a group of friends with similar interests. The ability to see connections between fields, ideas, and concepts is a core skill. Next are a few terms that I think are important and are generally used in the educational and educational technology fields. Pedagogy. Simply put, it is the science and art of education, and it ranges from topics such as human development to acquiring specific skills. Taxonomy. This is the scheme of classifying objects and concepts. Epistemology. This is the investigation or study of what distinguishes justified beliefs from opinion. It is the study of learning and knowing. Ontology. This is the study of being, or what exists. Over the years, the IT field has had many names, some of which I will highlight next. In the early 1900s, it was called the Visual Instructional Movement, which focused mainly on visual aids such as slides. Between 1920 and 1963, the name changed to audio-visual instruction. The focus during this time was radio and motion pictures. A little later, it became known as systematic instructional design. This is because this is when the process of learning, instead of just teaching, was first being considered. It was around this time that lessons were being created in a step-by-step process. Throughout most of the 70s, the field was called instruction technology. It still used the design steps as before, but used research studies to refine the process. There was new media available, and the media was recognized as a way to learn in itself instead of just being an aid. From the mid-1970s to the mid-1990s, the name changed to Instructional Technology, or Educational Technology. There was a recognition of the complex, interconnected design process involving media, people, and software. During this time, the process and focus became more human-centered. It is the first time analysis or human learning problem were used in the definition. From 1994 to 2008, the field came to be known as instructional technology. This time period is characterized by teachers being influenced by not only theory but practice as well. The design process no longer was seen as linear, and open-ended learning environments were created. Many of these changes were influenced by the constructivist approach. From 2008 to 2012, the name changed once again to Instructional Technology or Educational Technology. This is the first time ethical was used in the definition of the field. There was a focus on improving performance, and students were made responsible for what they learned. Finally, 2012 to the present, it is called Instructional Design and Technology. There is a systematic approach to design and management of technology, and the focus is on providing learning opportunities. This diagram illustrates modern educational technology. The principles are understanding how people learn, the proper use of technology, effective and ethical design methods, and the best interest of the learner should always be at the center of this process. One widely used design pattern is ADDIE, which stands for Analysis, Design, Develop, Implement, and Evaluate. In the analysis phase, such considerations like who are your students, what is the desired outcome, and what are the constraints of the learning environment are taken into account. The design phase deals with the learning objectives, assessment instruments, and exercises. In the development phase, instructional designers and developers create and assemble content and assets blueprinted in the design phase. The implementation puts the previous stages into action and lets facilitators and learners experience it. Finally, the evaluation phase evaluates the students to see what they have learned. An application of instructional technology you can see today is a smart classroom. There is no formal definition of what a smart classroom is, but instead these are some common characteristics. A private Wi-Fi network for the students and teacher to access shared resources, high-resolution projectors or monitors, video cameras for teleconferencing or other purposes, an interface for the instructor or students to easily share files or screens with a class, and an integrated interactive whiteboard with note-taking or drawing capability. Some advantages of smart classrooms are the lessons are more engaging and collaborative. Distance learning is made possible. Lectures can be recorded and watched later, and material from the class can be recorded and emailed to students. Currently, most smart classrooms are little more than a way for the instructor to control a projector, such as the setup seen in the picture on the left. However, it is possible to have a much richer interactive experience as seen in the picture on the right. Big data refers to the process of collecting and analyzing large amounts of data in an effort to reveal patterns, trends, and associations related to human behavior. Many organizations and countries collect such data for various reasons, such as marketing and targeted advertising. Google is probably the most well known for its targeted advertising. In addition, since Google is the most popular web service engine, it tracks a majority of the web traffic. As illustrated in the picture on the left, some people are concerned about what Google and other organizations with similar practices are doing with all that data.